Welcome to World Transits Today, practicing in the tradition of Stanislav Grof and Richard Tarnas, blending consciousness research with astrology. I'm Art Granoff. Today, June 1st on World Transits, special archetypal news edition, we explore 4 planetary archetypes: Mars, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, focusing the spotlight on 2 current transits, Mars trine Neptune exact today, and Saturn square Uranus. Today, the day after Memorial Day, with Mars Neptune, we honor pacifism, opposition to war, militarism, and violence. The word pacifism was coined by the French peace campaigner Émile Arnoux in 1901. After introductions, we'll meet Lewis Hill, a World War II conscientious objector who after the war became co-founder of KPFA, non-commercial radio in Berkeley, California. Then we'll move over to Saturn square Uranus. Mars trine Neptune through mid-June. Mars, the red planet, refers to heat, blood, service, and conflict. Mars, the achiever, arouses strength. Mars provides motivation to get going. Mars acts, claims, then attains, with the ability to proceed while facing resistance. Mars up for a challenge, strikes, but watch out, Mars as nuclear reactor. Once irritated, red-hot reactions scorch the Earth. Neptune's the outer planet, revealing subtlety through the inner gate, where boundaries loosen and rough edges smooth. Neptune, our imagination, turns us inside out with the direct experience that we're a member of, a cosmic participant in the human family. Neptune's a wonder of nature, resting in itself. We're all one. Neptune as loving kindness practice, where we offer good fortune towards those we love and respect. We include innocent bystanders, then those we don't care for at all. There's lots of tasty drinks there. Please welcome Lewis Hill, co-founder of KPFA, the nation's first non-commercial radio station. Lou Hill and a small group of pacifists who founded Pacifica sought to do more. Conscientious objectors during World War II, they believed that dialogue could save the world, and that radio could demonstrate by example the power of language to foster peace. Let's remember this man and honor his commitment. And here's his chart. Lewis Hill, founder of Pacifica. Sun-Mars conjunction, direct action. Mars square Neptune, covert action, the gentle warrior. He starts non-commercial radio on a shoestring. He's fired up, Mars, has a vision, Neptune. Saturn opposite Uranus, hey, old versus new. He's unsatisfied with the status quo, war. He's tense, Saturn. Well, he's in jail as a conscientious objector. Then, breathing fresh air, Uranus has an opening, has an awakening. Saturn conjunct Neptune. He imagines Neptune, non-commercial radio, where the station is listener-supported, encouraging honest conversations. Saturn conjunct Neptune. He imagines Neptune, non-commercial radio, where the station is listener-supported, encouraging honest conversations, too controversial for commercial concerns. Then Saturn builds it towards achieving peace. Mercury, his mind, square Pluto-Jupiter conjunction. Diving under the surface, Pluto. He gets the big Jupiter idea he conceives of and builds KPFA. Though Hill qualified as 4F, discharged for medical reasons due to his spinal arthritis, he instead chose to register as a conscientious objector, and in June 1942 was sent to Colville a camp for COs in Eastern California, south of Reno. It was there, in conversation, that the plan for Pacifica was first conceived. Trained as a lawyer, Hill was released from the camp in 1943 and was hired as director of the ACLU's National Committee on Conscientious Objectors. In that position, he defended protesting pacifists who were being accused of disloyalty. After prison, he refined his idea to create a commercial-free radio station, one that would be an oasis for dialogue and a healthy exchange of ideas. He came to believe that pacifists, if they were going to have an influence in the world, needed to stand for specific ideas, not narrowly against the status quo, and that this public engagement might be an example of nonviolent direct action. In 1948, Hill established KPFA, the country's first listener-supported FM station. Fast forward to 2021. The Pacifica network today includes 5 sister stations and serves almost 200 affiliate stations. Mars trine Neptune. Mars attack. Neptune melting. Neptune is panicked around Mars, and Mars is bewildered by Neptune. Mars loyal. Neptune comforting. Warrior of dissolving. Servant of subtlety. Deep mysteries acupuncturist. Mars Neptune, gentle strength getting the job done, or a spaced out warrior looking for a fight. And now, from the beginning of 2019 till the end of 2023, Saturn closes, is cold, tightens. Uranus is warm, opens, loosens. Saturn, the symbol of tradition, culture, heritage, the system, harvesting the recommended lifestyle, getting the fruits, what was. With Uranus, the pattern of promise, innovation, the freshly planted garden, buds in the fall, what may be. Saturn limits, restricts, holds back, then pressures towards conformity, advocating form, identifying with, then finding strength in the past, family, religion, country. In a way, Saturn's matriarchal. We lose ourselves in group thinking. Saturn equals safety. Saturn's also too safe, the cruel prison of certainty. It says so in the book. You must, you ought to, conform, be like me, or else. Saturn enforces structure. Saturn-Uranus, where's the beef? Recently in the news, a panic emerged over plant-based beer and grilled Brussels sprouts for a green 4th of July. The tone and tenor suggested environmentalism was a deadly threat, Uranus, to the U.S., and especially American manhood, Saturn. Beer, though, is always plant-based. An image of President Biden in the kitchen evoked fears about the administration's totalitarian overreach and suggested an inversion of gender roles. Biden and all vegetarians obviously were not real American men. Meanwhile, in order to let everyone know that they don't support Biden or Brussels sprouts, right-wing men flooded Twitter with pictures of their meat. They retweeted several pounds of unseasoned gray T-bones, raw steak, and prime ribs. Okay. Saturn square Uranus. Pot dogs withdrawing early. The trend is everywhere, said Don Slavic, executive director of the United States Police Canine Association. Once you train a behavior in a dog, that never goes away. Virginia State Police are retiring their canines. Richmond, Virginia. as Virginia legalizes adult possession of marijuana on July 1st. Drug-sniffing police dogs from around the state are being forced into early retirement, just like other states where legalization has led to canines being put out to pasture. You work with them day in and day out, and they become part of you, and just to take them away is kind of tough. Happy dog ending. The officers have responded in kind by adopting some of the dogs and bringing them home. Uranus, unbound, unconstrained, relieves pressure, opens packages, doors. Uranus, the process of stuff being released from a container, a body getting born. Also, disruption, chaos, trickster, the usurper, barbarians invading from the north. Saturn, Uranus, finding new ways to restrict, remain, contain, or finding new ways to open, go, liberate. Does this sound familiar? Tell me the ways. Let's tee up Bob Dylan. Hey, celebrating his 80th birthday last week. And here's Dylan's chart. And what a chart it is. We could invest a few hours with this chart. Yet today, Saturn conjunct Uranus, the old versus the new. Robert Zimmerman, lights out of Minnesota, becomes Bob Dylan, highlighting Saturn-Uranus most succinctly. Bob Dylan, born Robert Allen Zimmerman, May 24, 1941, is an American singer, songwriter, author, and visual artist. Often regarded as one of the greatest songwriters of all time, Dylan's career spans 6 decades. His most celebrated work is from the 1960s, Blowin' in the Wind, 1963, and The Times They Are A-Changin', 1964, became anthems for the civil rights and anti-war movements. His lyrics incorporated a range of political, social, philosophical, and literary influences, defying pop music conventions that record buyers were just mindless consumers, and appealing to the counterculture. In 1965, then 66, Dylan went electric, and in the space of 15 months recorded 3 of the most important and influential rock albums of the 1960s. Bringing It All Back Home, 1965. Highway 61, 1965. And Blonde on Blonde, 1966. Commenting on the 6-minute single like a Rolling Stone, Rolling Stone magazine wrote, "No other pop song has so thoroughly challenged and transformed the commercial laws and artistic conventions of its time. For all time, and from Bringing It All Back Home, 1965, It's All Right, Ma, I'm Only Bleeding. Darkness at the break of noon shadows even the silver spoon, the handmade blade, the child's balloon, eclipses both the sun and moon. To understand you know too soon, there is no sense in trying. Pointed threats they bluff with scorn, suicide remarks are torn from the fool's gold mouthpiece, the hollow horn. Plays wasted words, proves to warn. He not busy being born, is busy dying. On the transit timeline, we see right there, Mars trine Neptune for 1 month through mid-June. Gentle strength from inner wisdom or lack of direction. And as previously mentioned, Saturn square Uranus through the end of 2023. So thanks for tuning to World Transits Today, everybody. Special archetypal news edition as we tour through Mars trine Neptune and Saturn square Uranus. And see you tomorrow.